Living alone, especially as you grow older, is often painted as a serene, liberating experience. The narrative usually emphasizes the freedom you gain, being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with no one around to impose obligations or disrupt your day. In many ways, this depiction is true. Living alone can feel empowering, and for those who have spent much of their lives caring for others or living in bustling households, solitude can be refreshing. But as with most things in life, there's more to the story. There are aspects of living alone in your later years that aren't often discussed, things you won't fully understand until you're living them yourself. I've spent a lot of time gathering wisdom from various platforms and forums, and what I want to share is not just my own experience, but a collective insight from many older individuals who have walked this path before. The reality of living alone as an older adult is nuanced. It's not all bad, but it's not all easy either. It's simply real. So let's take a closer look at some of the challenges that don't always get talked about, as well as the ways to navigate them and make the most of living alone as you grow older. Number one, you have to be your own emergency backup. One of the most surprising realizations that comes with living alone in your later years is the fact that you are your own emergency plan. When you're young or living with others, you don't often think about what would happen if you had an accident or a medical emergency. There's usually someone around to notice if something goes wrong. However, when you're living by yourself, especially as you age, you quickly come to terms with the fact that if something were to happen, like a fall or sudden illness, there might be no one around to help. I've read numerous stories from people who found themselves in this exact situation. One particularly alarming account was from a woman who shared that she had fallen in her home and wasn't found for nearly 2 days because she didn't have anyone checking in on her regularly. Another person shared how they had to start carrying their phone with them everywhere, even into the shower, just in case of an emergency. While this might seem like an extreme precaution, it's a reality that many older adults living alone have had to consider. To mitigate this, there are a few safety measures that can offer peace of mind. For starters, consider investing in a smartwatch with emergency features or a medical alert system. These devices can be lifesavers, especially if you live in a more remote area or don't have close neighbors. I remember reading a comment from a woman who installed an emergency key lockbox outside her house. She gave the code to a few trusted friends and family members, so if something ever happened, they could easily access her home without breaking a window or forcing the door open. Simple steps like this can make all the difference in maintaining your independence while ensuring you're not left vulnerable in an emergency. Number 2. Loneliness can be a real struggle. Even for introverts, it's commonly assumed that living alone is the ultimate dream for introverts, and to a large extent, that's true. For those who thrive on solitude, living by yourself offers an opportunity to recharge without the constant need for social interaction. However, many introverts, particularly those in their later years, have admitted that even they experience bouts of loneliness. This is especially true as social circles begin to shrink over time. Many older adults find that, as they age, their circle of friends and family members diminishes. Friends retire and move away, family members become busy with their own lives, and some close companions pass on. For many, meeting new people feels more challenging as they get older. I came across a story from an elderly gentleman who shared that, despite loving his independence, he could go days without speaking to another person. He missed the small, casual interactions, like chatting with a partner or housemate about the weather or what to have for dinner. For those who find themselves grappling with loneliness, one potential solution that many people have turned to is adopting a pet. Pets, particularly dogs and cats, offer companionship, a sense of responsibility, and a daily routine. As one woman on a forum said, "My cat might not talk, but he's always there when I come home, and that makes all the difference." Having a pet can bring warmth and life to a quiet home, making the solitude feel less daunting. Number 3, keeping up with home maintenance can be overwhelming. As we age, our energy levels and physical capabilities naturally decline, and this can make keeping up with home maintenance a daunting task. When you're younger, tasks like cleaning the gutters, mowing the lawn, or even vacuuming the living room seem routine. But as time goes on, these chores can become more exhausting, both physically and mentally. I've read several stories from older adults who admitted that they had to start letting certain household tasks slide simply because they no longer had the stamina or desire to keep up. One woman shared that she kept a running list of all the home projects that needed to be done, but as the list grew longer, she found herself putting off most of them. It wasn't that she didn't care about maintaining her home, it was just too overwhelming to tackle everything alone. If you find yourself in this position, don't hesitate to ask for help. Hiring someone to handle the heavier chores like yard work or deep cleaning can make a world of difference. Additionally, family members or friends might be more than happy to pitch in from time to time, so don't be afraid to reach out. Another option is downsizing. Moving to a smaller living space means less maintenance, which can free up your time and energy to focus on the things that truly matter to you. Number 4, your daily routine becomes sacred, and that's okay. When you live alone, especially as an older adult, your daily routine takes on new significance. Without a partner or housemate to share responsibilities or spontaneous plans with, your routine becomes a pillar of stability. For many older adults, these daily rituals are a source of comfort and control, helping them maintain a sense of order in their lives. I came across a story of a woman in her 70s who shared that every morning she played the same song while making breakfast. It wasn't just about the song, it was about filling her quiet house with energy and creating a consistent start to her day. Another man explained that he looked forward to watering his garden each evening, not just because of the plants, but because it gave him a sense of purpose and structure. These simple routines can be deeply meaningful when you live alone. It's important to remember that there's nothing wrong with valuing these small, everyday moments. While some people might see having a rigid routine as limiting, for those who live alone, these rituals offer a sense of continuity and control. Your daily habits, whether it's enjoying a cup of coffee on the porch, taking an afternoon walk, or watching your favorite TV show in the evening, become a special part of your day. They are yours to shape and enjoy, and they give your life a rhythm that is both comforting and empowering. 5. Cooking for one can be tricky but rewarding. Cooking for yourself, especially when you're older and living alone, can present challenges that you may not have anticipated. Unlike when you're cooking for a family or a household, you don't need to prepare large meals. It's just you, and sometimes the idea of putting in the effort to make a full meal just for yourself can feel unnecessary or even exhausting. This is a common sentiment among many older adults, and I've read countless stories from people who have resorted to frozen meals or takeout simply because it seems easier and more convenient. However, it doesn't have to be that way. One woman commented on a forum that her whole outlook on cooking changed when she began to see it not as a chore, but as an act of self-care. She learned to love cooking for herself, and in doing so, transformed the entire experience. Cooking became less about the labor and more about nurturing herself. This shift in perspective made all the difference. The act of preparing a meal became a way to show herself the same care and attention she would offer to others. One of the ways to make cooking for one more manageable is by batch cooking. Many people find it helpful to cook larger portions of meals over the weekend and then refrigerate or freeze them to eat throughout the week. This way, you don't have to start from scratch every day, but you still get the benefit of eating something homemade and nutritious. Some people even experiment with new recipes, treating cooking as a creative outlet rather than an obligation. Trying out different ingredients, flavors, and techniques can turn cooking into a hobby rather than a tiresome routine. Ultimately, cooking for yourself is about taking the time to nourish your body and remind yourself that you're worth the effort. While it might be tempting to reach for something quick and easy, preparing a meal for yourself can be a little act of love, one that boosts both your physical and mental well-being. Plus, it's a healthier and more budget-friendly option in the long run. You're investing in your health and happiness, and that's something worth celebrating. 6. The quiet can be both a blessing and a curse. One of the most unexpected challenges of living alone, especially for those who have lived in busy households or worked in bustling environments, is the silence. When you're used to constant activity, conversations, or even just background noise, the quiet of living alone can be jarring. It's something that many people don't anticipate hitting them as hard as it does. For some, the quiet is a welcome change, a peaceful escape from the noise of life. They thrive in the stillness, finding solace in the tranquility that living alone provides. But for others, especially those who are used to a more active social environment, the silence can feel overwhelming, even unsettling at times. One older woman shared that she couldn't bear the silence in her home and started leaving the radio on while she did her chores just to fill the air with some noise. It wasn't about listening to the music or talk shows, it was simply about breaking the eerie stillness that seemed to amplify the loneliness. Another man shared that he listens to podcasts throughout the day to create the illusion that someone is talking to him. For him, it wasn't about the content, but about filling the house with a human voice, a sense of companionship, whether it's music, audiobooks, or even just the TV playing in the background. Finding ways to break the silence can make a huge difference in how you feel about living alone. On the flip side, there's a beauty in the quiet that many people come to appreciate, especially if they've spent much of their lives surrounded by people or noise. The silence offers a space for reflection, thought, and recharging. It can become a time to meditate, read, or simply be with your thoughts. After years of being busy with family, work, and other responsibilities, some find this quiet to be a gift, an opportunity to enjoy the simplicity of their own company. 7. You need to be intentional about physical activity. Living alone as you grow older can make it easy to fall into a sedentary lifestyle. Without someone to encourage you to get out of the house for a walk or participate in shared activities, the motivation to stay active can diminish over time. Many older adults have admitted that after living alone for a while, they notice their physical fitness declining. One man shared that he used to take daily walks when his wife was alive, but after her passing, he gradually stopped. He didn't realize how much less active he had become until his body started to stiffen up and he found himself sitting for longer periods throughout the day. The reality is that staying physically active requires intention, especially when you're living alone. Without someone else to remind or push you, you have to become your own source of motivation, but it doesn't have to be daunting. Incorporating physical activity into your daily routine can be as simple as setting a step goal each day or doing some light stretching in the mornings. It doesn't have to mean going to the gym or engaging in strenuous exercise. For example, one woman I read about decided to get a dog specifically to encourage herself to stay active. The dog needed to be walked, and that daily walk became a part of her routine, keeping her moving and ensuring she got outside every day. Physical activity can take many forms. It might be dancing around your living room to your favorite music, spending time in the garden, or choosing to take the stairs instead of the elevator. The key is to find small, enjoyable ways to keep your body in motion. Staying active isn't just about maintaining physical health, it also lifts your mood, boosts your energy, and clears your mind. The more you move, the better you'll feel, both physically and emotionally. 8. Your sense of time may shift in unexpected ways. When you live alone, especially after retiring or losing a partner, your relationship with time can change in ways you might not expect. Without the external rhythms that come from another person's schedule or work responsibilities, you might find that days begin to blur together. Several people online have shared that they sometimes lose track of not just the day of the week, but even the time of day. One man commented in a forum that after his retirement and the passing of his spouse, he found himself waking up and not knowing if it was a weekday or the weekend. He said that without his wife's work schedule and their shared routines, he felt like time stretched out endlessly in front of him. This lack of structure can feel disorienting for some, leading them to feel like time is either dragging on too long or slipping away unnoticed. The good news is that living alone gives you the freedom to create your own schedule, and many people find that sticking to a loose routine helps them maintain a sense of structure. For instance, you could designate certain days for specific tasks, maybe grocery shopping on Mondays, cleaning the house on Thursdays, and so on. This not only helps you keep track of time, but also gives you something to look forward to and organize your week around. Engaging in hobbies that anchor your day or week, Engaging in hobbies that anchor your day or week can also be helpful. Some people enjoy attending a weekly class, working in their garden in the afternoons, or preparing a special dinner every Sunday. These small rituals can give your days a rhythm and help you stay connected to time while still allowing you the freedom to enjoy its flow. Living alone gives you the chance to structure your days in a way that works for you, and that can be a beautiful gift. 9. Decluttering becomes both easier and harder. When you live alone, the process of decluttering takes on a new level of significance. On one hand, it can be easier because there's no one around to disagree with your decisions about what to keep or get rid of. You don't have to consult with anyone else about which items to toss, and that can make the process smoother and more straightforward. On the other hand, the emotional weight of decluttering can be heavier. Everything in your home holds a piece of your personal history, and letting go of certain items can feel like closing chapters of your life. I read a story from an older woman who admitted that she found herself keeping things not because she needed them, but because of the memories they held. She said, "It's just me, so who does it hurt to hold on to these things?" But then I think, do I really want to leave all this for someone else to sort through? For many older adults living alone, the task of decluttering is not just about reducing clutter. It's about coming to terms with the past and deciding which memories to keep and which ones to let go of. This can make decluttering emotionally challenging, as every item becomes a reflection of your life, your experiences, and your journey. However, there is also freedom in simplifying your surroundings. One man in his late 60s shared how he decided to downsize his belongings as a way to make life easier for himself and his family. He said that decluttering gave him peace of mind, knowing that his home felt more manageable and that he was no longer holding on to things that no longer served him. Decluttering as you get older isn't about minimalism for the sake of it. It's about creating a space that reflects who you are now, not who you were in the past. It's okay to keep the things that bring you joy, but letting go of what no longer serves you can be liberating. Start small, tackle one area at a time, and allow yourself to feel the emotions that come with it. This is your space, and you have the power to shape it in a way that supports your current life and well-being. 10. Social invitations might decrease, but you have to create your own fun. One of the more surprising things about living alone as you get older is how social invitations seem to dwindle over time. It's not that people stop caring about you, but as friends and family move into different stages of life, juggling their own families, careers, or even moving to new locations, you may find that you're not as involved in group activities as you once were. Several older adults have shared that they noticed they were being invited to social gatherings less frequently, which can feel isolating. One woman in a forum mentioned that she used to wait by the phone, hoping for an invitation, until she realized that she needed to be more proactive in creating her own social life. I used to wait for my phone to ring, but now I've learned I need to be proactive, she said. And this is such valuable advice. Rather than waiting for others to reach out, take charge of your own social life. This could be as simple as inviting a friend over for coffee or organizing a small gathering like a book club or a movie night in your living room. The best part about hosting or organizing social activities is that you get to shape them around what you enjoy. For example, one man in his 60s shared that he started a neighborhood walking group. Every Sunday, a small group would meet and explore different local trails together. It kept him connected and active, all while doing something he loved. Living alone gives you the freedom to design your social life, so don't be afraid to take the lead. If you enjoy crafting, invite friends over for a DIY night. If you love a particular TV show, plan a weekly watch party. Be the one who reaches out, and you'll find that others will follow. Social connections are important, and creating your own fun allows you to stay engaged with the people and activities that matter most to you.